The following is a presentation of TFNN. The Trader's Edge with Steve Rhodes. Call now, toll free at 1-877-927-6648 or internationally at 727-873-7618. The Trader's Edge. Now, Steve Rhodes.
Good morning, folks. Welcome to the August 13th, the wonderful Wednesday edition of today's Trader's Edge Show. I'm your host, Stevie Perseverance Rhodes, who absolutely knows that each of us should always be pioneers of our future versus prisoners of our past. Hope everyone out there is having a great day, and let's make sure we have an extraordinary one. Now, the easiest way to do that is to always remember that life is happening for us, not to us. That's right. When you and I make that one little 2x4 shift, it means we can find the gift in every set of circumstance that life is going to toss at us. Now, today, you and I, we're going to go check on the circumstance of these markets. We'll go figure out what those bulls and bears, what those buyers and sellers are communicating to you and I at just past 11 o'clock in the morning. I do want you to know that I'm absolutely grateful for your presence here. But even more important than that, and that's this. During this next 53 minutes, I'm here to serve you. So feel free to send me a request. Do that by sending me an email at steve@tfnn.com. Inside that subject heading, please put radio show question. Of course, if you're inside our Tiger's Den, well, then any and every ping will do. So let's go ahead and get this show started on wonderful Wednesday. Of course, this is Tiger Financial News Network. I'm Steve Rhodes. Welcome to the show. So we're beginning our day with mostly a rally out there. You've got the NASDAQ 100 just went negative, down 14 points. And we have, nope, that's it. So that's what we've got to the downside. You got the Dow up 301, S&P's up 6, Russell's up 16, transports are up 35. Semis are up 22. NASDAQ Composite just slightly green out there. And New York Stock Exchange is up 48 points. Gold is up 13 bucks. Silver 53 cents. Lights Recruit is back $1 right now. Natural gas is up a penny. We on my screen out here, we've got that Adobe trade, the TD9 count bottom pattern, the Rhodes Momentum Indicator bottom pattern on a daily time frame that also formed yesterday. The weekly's going to complete a TD9 count pattern this week. The monthly already has a buy the D point pattern out there. Trade is starting to work well. This should rally up towards 360.64. That's the top of its daily profile. Above that, we're looking at 376. Above that, 380.51, and then above that, 416.89. Those are the destination price targets for Adobe. If we take a look at other signals that we have out here, I see that Franco-Nevada has got a TD9 count top pattern possibly. So let's go check in on its charts. Yesterday was the completion of bar number 8 out there. Today will become bar number 9. And this says that this should top today or tomorrow out there. And price should pull back to test the 174.60 level. That's the top of its profile. I don't have we have a TD9 count top on the weekly time frame as well. Price would need to close above on Friday, 178.74. That has volume of 6.4 million shares. We're not halfway through the week, but we're about 2.3 million shares. So maybe a similar type volume, maybe probably a little bit lighter out there. But the key is watch for Franco-Nevada. On Friday, a close below 178.74 will have a daily and a weekly top out there. Now, the weekly top is saying 174.78 is the first price target. Daily's got 174.60. We also have a TD9 count topping pattern that's finishing in Kinross Gold. KGC is the ticker symbol. It completed bar number 8 yesterday. Will form bar number 9 today, so long as price is able to close above the close of bar number 5, and that's 1877. We see this also has a Rhodes Momentum Indicator signal that is present. So a bearish reversal candle would confirm a Rhodes Momentum Indicator top. So to a certain extent, it doesn't really matter where it closes today. Right now, we've got a bearish engulfing candle. If we have that at day's end, you will at least have at least one topping pattern out there. Price right now is back inside its profile, meaning it's trading below the top of the profile, which is at 1925. Closing back inside the profile would suggest that price would would pull back and at least test its oscillator and change line right around the 1841, 1856 level. The bottom of its daily profile is 1752. The monthly time frame chart is in bar number 9. The weekly time frame chart says, I don't know what kind of top you guys are talking about. Well, we're talking about the top on the daily time frame that is in the process of forming. So there's a couple of instruments for you with regard to the general TD9s on the instruments that I've got for us to take a look at. Let's go take a look at other general things, such as what's going on inside that advanced decline oscillator, along with that spot VIX index. You're looking at the left-hand panel chart. You'll see that advanced decline oscillator is above that zero threshold level. It did close above it yesterday. And if it closes above it again today, we're at 69, we will then have synergy amongst the advanced decline oscillator and the spot VIX index. And that says it should be game on, rally on, with the New York Stock Exchange making a run for its Rhodes Momentum Indicator top. It's all-time highs out there. The spot VIX index well below its 50-day exponential moving average. It is in bar number 5. Maybe it goes on to form a TD9 count pattern. Last time that we had a bottom out here was a TD9 count bottom. It was on bar number 8 that had formed. Out there. So that's just something for us to consider. Now you're in bar number 5, so this is Wednesday. Bar number 8 wouldn't take place until Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday of next week before that pattern would actually form out there. So that's what's going on right now. What though, if we sum this up, the summation here is that you've got everything that is pointing to bullish conditions out here. Well, if that's the case, let's go take a look at the daily equity future charts. Let's put those up on our screen out here. We did not get a new profile that formed yesterday. I think we were looking at one inside the NQ. That did not form. Inside the ES Mini, it did not close above its Rhodes Momentum Indicator high. That was a July 31st high, and that's at that 64.6850 level. If we close above that, we negate that top. Does it need a bearish reversal candle to do anything? No, as long as price remains below 64.6850. In the case of the NQ right now, it shows as a bearish shooting star candle. No idea what it will look like at day's end. If this was day's end, though, then we would have a daily topping pattern out there. That would suggest that price would pull back to its oscillator and change line. That's at 23,830 or so. That number is going to change. And if price was able to close below the oscillator and change line, the NQ will have lost momentum. And it says that its next price target would be 23,631. I would say if we get a daily topping signal, that what we'd be looking at is a pullback to test the level of where a counter trend rally would come to an end, and that's between 23,418 and 23,631. In the case of the Dow Equity Future contract, it's now saying I want to participate in this rally. It is trading above its bearish structured daily profile. It is trading above its green oscillator and change line, but it's trading into the swing point of its all-time high out here. That swing point from July 28th. So what you really need to see for the Dow to say that I'm ready to move higher is a close above 44,911. Otherwise, it's a test and rejection of a swing point out there or the Dow Equity Future contract. In the case of the Russell 2000, a close above 2296 today. We're at 2308. Will negate any kind of topping pattern that it has, and it'll suggest that it wants to rally out there. So that's what's going on with the daily equity future contracts. Let's dive down a little bit further, although we don't have much in the way of time out here, just a few seconds. That's not what I really wanted to look at. I wanted to look at this right here. Let's see, do we have the NQs? No, we've got the ES Mini. So real quickly, just see if we got any kind of topping signals. The 60-minute time frame chart has a TD9 count top with price below its bullish structured profile. The ES Mini should go target 64.63. 64.63 is the call by Stevie. When we come back from this break, we'll start taking a look at some of the requests that have come in, some from yesterday, those from today, and of course, I'd love to field your request as well. Send me an email, steve@tfnn.com.
If you're looking for potential trading setups in the stock market, then Rocket Equities and Options Report is a newsletter you should try. Tommy O'Brien delivers options and equity trades when the markets present them, using a combination of fundamentals and technicals. Sign up for Rocket Equities and Options Report today with a 30-day money-back guarantee, so you have nothing to risk. For all the details and to start your subscription today, visit the front page of TFNN.com. TFNN, educating investors.
Many trading newsletters attempt to focus on a narrow set of equities or commodities. While this works for some, it oftentimes misses many opportunities that possess huge gain potential. But how is an independent trader supposed to scan the entire market looking for these hidden opportunities? One simple answer: the opening call newsletter. Basil Chapman, developer of the Chapman Wave trading methodology, has been trading the markets for longer than most trading influencers have been alive. And over that time, he has honed his methodology in order to accurately call movements in a wide range of equities, from semiconductors to uranium to key indices and so much more. Basil is old school, taking the time to educate the trader while also giving his insights into key indices, selective stocks, and more. Opening Call subscribers also receive access to dozens of educational live streams that can be accessed at any time for your edification. All first-time subscribers receive a 30-day money-back guarantee. So ignore the pop trading influencers and start learning time-tested technical analysis.
Steve Rhodes started his trading career as a student almost 20 years ago, and the student has now become the master. Steve won the prestigious Timer of the Year award in 2018 and barely missed that mark again in 2019, finishing at number 2 for the year. An amazing accomplishment. Steve Rhodes is committed to sharing his techniques and knowledge with anyone who wants to learn, and he shares his vast amount of trading knowledge every day in his Mastering Probability newsletter. Steve's award-winning newsletter, Mastering Probability, is delivered every trading day with updates throughout the afternoon. Sign up for Steve's market newsletter, Mastering Probability, and you'll receive access to 7 of Steve's educational webinars absolutely free. At TFNN, all our newsletters come with a 30-day money-back guarantee, so you have absolutely nothing to worry about. Visit TFNN.com and try Mastering Probability 30 days risk-free today. TFNN, educating investors.
TFNN has launched the Tiger's Den, hosted at Discord. TFNN has been educating traders for more than 20 years with live programming hosted by a variety of professional traders during market hours. The Tiger's Den, available to all tigers and tigresses for just $1 for the year. There's no catch or added costs when you join our community of traders. Sign up today and become a part of this educational community of traders. Just visit the front page of TFNN.com.
Welcome back, folks. I did put the intraday charts for the NQ up on my screen out here. Now, along the top row, the 5-hour and the 4-hour, those bars do not complete until 2 p.m. today. If this was 2 p.m., they would both have sell the D-point tops, the NQ on the 5-hour chart with a bearish engulfing candle, the 4-hour chart, a three-river evening star candle formation. Now, we can see on the 5-hour chart that price is sitting right at support, and that is its green oscillator and change line. That number is really at 23,911. We're trading at 23,912 right now. On the basically the same type of situation on the 4-hour, though, its oscillator and change line is up at the 23,928 level. On the 2-hour chart, price is testing the level where a counter trend move would come to an end. That says keep close attention to 23,897.70 out there. Is the bottom in at this stage here? Now, all those would have sell the D-point tops. The 10-minute time frame chart is in bar number 9. That says that in 1 minute, you're going to have a TD9 count bottom pattern. That means in 11 minutes, you're going to complete a TD9 count bottom pattern, and price should rally up towards the 23,973 level. But, of course, you're going to want to then watch the low of the morning, whatever this pattern is, because if we close below that, that would suggest some lower price out there. The 60-minute time frame chart that has a TD9 count top, much like the ES Mini. In this case here, price is testing its breakout level of 23,934 out there. So we looked at the ES. I believe it is the NQ that is the one to pay attention to, because it's the one that's lifting all boats higher out there. So might have just been just a little simple scare, so to speak, very short-term lived out here. Watch that 10-minute chart out there. It just confirmed a TD9 count bottom, and it'll complete that here in the next 10 minutes. Now, we had a request yesterday that I wasn't able to answer. We had a couple of requests that came in that I just didn't get to, and it really started by the question was spurred on by the conversation about the possibility that we are still in this that the prevailing pattern, seasonal pattern that is the post-election cycle pattern, and the post-election cycle pattern suggests that we should see a market that moves lower into the end of October, maybe even into the middle of November out there. Now, we don't know for sure if we're following along these lines. I have an indication that suggests that we still are at this stage of the game. And then the question that came in was, well, what happens if interest rates start getting cut in September? Do you think that pattern will just simply go away and markets will trade higher? And what I needed to grab was a set of charts that I already had done off of my black background system, but I didn't want to try to do that during the show because that could create problems out there, and I don't look for problems. So instead, what we're going to do is we're going to take a look at the charts that I was referring to. Now, and this is the question came in from Eddie. So if we take a look at this chart, you're going to see the top panel, which is the 10-year note out here, the interest rate for the 10-year note. And the yellow arrows show us, if we just follow my cursor, and I'm going back basically into the 1998 time period or what have you. I don't have the exact start. But you can see if we take a look at interest rates moving higher, come downstairs and take a look at the S&P 500, the S&P 500 moved higher. Then we take a look at the top, basically in 2000. Interest rates start moving lower. What's the market do? The market is moving lower. Interest rates bottom maybe around the 2003 time frame. They start rising. What does the S&P 500 do? It starts rising. Then we see the market fall. The 2007 top out there. The market, the interest rates are pulling back. So too the market. So in other words, generally speaking, out here, okay, much to everybody's chagrin, that we need lower, that you should start reducing rates out there. Typically, the pattern that's in play is the opposite. So you might think that maybe markets might move higher, freer money, so to speak. The reality is that you're going to borrow money, if you will, if whatever it is you're going to trade is going to pay back, well more than the interest rate out there. It's not going to stop you from taking action. Now, if we come back and we take a look at from the 2009 out here, the 2009 bottom, we see interest rates moving lower, okay, for quite some time. And of course, what we see here is the stock market, as you know, moving higher. So we did have that one period of time, or a period of time, a long period of time, where the opposite could be said. Now, what we can see here is we come back since the 2020 low, we can see that we've had interest rates on the move to the upside, and we can see so too with regard to the S&P 500. So maybe what the president is asking for is a lot of trouble out there. Now, we don't want to stop there. I don't want to stop there. What I want to do is take a look at this here. This is a 5-day average that compares interest rate, the 10-year interest rate, against the S&P 500. And the bottom panel, this is set again to a 5-day average. The bottom panel, the bars that are above zero, would say that we have a directional correlation, meaning that they both move in the same direction. When they're below zero, we have the inverse reaction. Now, I haven't counted all these bars out here, but it looks to me like it's more like a 50-50 deal, right, with regard to that. I'm using a short-term time frame. I could have shortened it down to 3 days, and I did when I first had it, but even that didn't show anything significantly different than a 1 week average out there. Well, look, if we go beyond a 1 week average and we go to a 20 a day average out here, it kind of smooths things out. But here you even see it's somewhat of a 50-50 ball as well. So, Eddie, whatever it is, the BS that people are pushing in the media stream out there, it is just BS. Nobody's looking at charts. Nobody's proving their point out here. One of the things that you certainly get at TFNN, you'll certainly get it from me, is I will prove the point. If I can't show you a chart that that complements what I'm saying, then I'm not worth diddly. Of course, I may not be worth diddly to begin with, but that's a whole different scenario out there. So, Eddie, with regard to the interest rates and its impact on the markets, I say we follow the patterns inside the instruments and not get too caught up in that, because it's a load of hooey. I mean, it's just an absolute load out there. So hope that helps you out. Let's go to our next request that came in. This one was from Mimi, who wanted to take a look at DUK. I'm not sure, is that Duke Energy out there? Doesn't really matter what it is, but let's look at the charts. And Mimi's looking for an entry point out here. Now, when I take a look at this instrument, trying to get a decent feel out here, On the long term, from the long-term monthly standpoint, you're going to have 3 bars to the upside this month, or so it appears that you will. In looking at the bottom panel of the chart out there, we did get a 4-bar move out here. This is the one into April of 2025. But most of the time, after a 3-bar move, we see some type of pullback. In fact, typically it's a 1 to 2 bar pullback out there. So what I'm saying to you, even though it's just the 13th of the month, is that we're very likely by the end of this month to see some type of pullback out here for DUK. We don't have that on the chart pattern, if you will. I don't have any kind of a topping signal at this moment in time, but maybe one will appear. Maybe it will be a, well, I kind of take that back. There's actually a sell the D point bottom in here. It looks like it maybe was a 1 to 2, A to B equals CD, maybe even beyond that. So in order for DUK to negate that signal, you need to see a monthly close of 125.27. We're at 125.04. That candle had a volume of 88 million shares this month so far. Halfway through, we're up at 31. So we're testing a swing point with lighter volume. On the weekly chart, 125.27. Well, last week close was 125.32. We do not have a top on the weekly chart. We come back from this break. I'll finish looking at DUK for Mimi. Steve Rhodes with TFNN. We'll be right back.
Building wealth trading in the stock market seems impossible to most people. They think it's too volatile and risky. Most people aren't going to take the time to educate themselves on how to do it right. But you're not most people, are you? At TFNN, you'll get the guidance you need to refine your strategies and techniques to invest like a pro. Because you'll be a pro. All TFNN subscriptions, books, software, and courses are available at TFNN.com. And I'm even going to tell you how to get them for less. Use TFNN's Tiger Dollars and you'll get up to a 20% bonus on your purchase. And once you apply them to your account, Tiger Dollars are automatically used for all future or recurring charges. Tiger Dollars also never expire, are fully transferable, and are a great way to add savings to your newsletters or services. Become the investor you were born to be at TFNN.com. TFNN, educating investors.
In the world of trading, only a few names stand out like Larry Pesavento, a pro's pro with over 50 years of experience. Larry has seen it all. A former Chicago Mercantile Exchange member, Larry has authored 10 books and trained over 1,000 traders with his unmatched expertise. Introducing Fibonacci 24/7, Larry Pesavento's daily trading service that turns the complexity of markets into opportunities. Published every Sunday, receive a comprehensive report packed with detailed commentary, charts, and videos that illuminate the patterns shaping the markets, with updates throughout the week exclusively for subscribers. Whether through charts or videos, Larry's analysis is your roadmap to navigating the markets. You can sign up now at TFNN.com for just $97. And with all TFNN newsletters backed by a 30-day money-back guarantee, you have nothing to risk. For all the details, visit TFNN.com. You'll find Fibonacci 24/7 right under the newsletters tab.
Sharpening your skills as an investor is like getting better at playing a musical instrument. You have to practice, sure, but you also need excellent instruction from experts. At TFNN, you'll get advice and guidance from the authority in technical market analysis. And it's not just dry, tedious text either. TFNN airs live financial content streamed live on TFNN.com and TFNN's YouTube channel with Tiger TV, live every market day from 8:30 a.m. to 4 p.m. Eastern. For free. Each host is an experienced trader and gives their take on the market while taking calls and questions live from around the world. From the moment the market opens until the closing bell sounds, Tiger TV has 8 different shows with expert hosts to help you make the right moves with your money. Watch online at TFNN.com or on TFNN's YouTube channel and become the investor you were born to be. TFNN, educating investors.
This portion of the Trader's Edge is brought to you by Direxion's daily leveraged and inverse ETFs. Whether you're a bull or a bear, you choose the direction. Visit Direxion.com. Investing in the funds involves significant risk and should only be utilized by investors who understand the impact of leverage and actively monitor their portfolio. They are not designed to track the underlying index or security for more than a day. Before investing, carefully consider a fund's investment objective, risk, charges, and expenses contained in the prospectus available at Direxion.com. Read carefully. Distributor Foreside Fund Services, LLC.
Welcome back. We're looking at Duke Energy. This is for Mimi, and Mimi's looking for an entry point. We know that at this moment in time, the monthly sell the D point top is holding. The weekly chart doesn't have a top just yet out here, but it has moved higher for the last 7 weeks out there. And so this could be getting ready for at least a 2-week pullback out there. So I'm going to suggest that you sit patient here. I don't have I've got a sell the D point top on the daily time frame chart with price trading with inside its profile. Maybe this will pull back for a couple weeks. Maybe it'll get all the way back to the bottom of its daily profile or its breakout area, Mimi, and that's in the 118.49 to 119.25 level. So I'm going to suggest patience on Duke Energy. You also wanted to take a look at Netflix, as did Mike in Albania. Now, Mike in Albania is looking for Netflix, I think by the end of the month. He needs this to move about 45 points higher. Mimi's looking for an entry point. So let's start off with just simply the daily analysis on this. What do we know that we have here? We have a bullish profile change in trend, that's for sure, because price traded above and is closed above the top of its daily profile. Today will be day number 4 above that level. I don't have any kind of a topping pattern or signal on the daily time frame. So we rallied for 3 days. Today may be a 1 bar pullback. Maybe we get a 2-bar pullback. That 2-bar pullback perhaps getting back to support, which is between 1192 and 1197. Mimi, that could be an area for you to consider putting on a few shares out there. Mike doesn't want to hear that it's got to move lower, but this may have to move lower before it moves higher out there on the daily time frame. The weekly time frame, the issue that you're dealing with here, Mike, is top of its profile, and that's where it's found resistance. We've seen the daily back off. Why did it back off? No topping signal, because price ran into resistance on the weekly time frame. That's at the 12.2677 level. So if you can close above or see it start closing above, trade above 12.2677, that's going to get you closer to the 45 points that you need. And the next level of resistance would be its weekly oscillator and change line. That's currently printed at 1269. On a monthly time frame, last month, Netflix generated, looks like it may have generated. I'm not doing the retracement on my math. I don't know if this is a 0.382 retracement or not. And what I'm referring to is the high from July of 2023 down to the low of October of 2023. But if that is close to a 0.382 retracement, then last month's bearish sash candle would have then generated a sell the D point top. And that would suggest that over time, Mike, what price wants to do is pull back to test the 1109 area. That's the oscillator and change line. Of course, that number is going to change as price moves up and down. So for you and your trade, for Mimi, she's looking to enter a trade. I'm suggesting maybe after a couple day pullback out here. So that could be looking at it tomorrow, Mimi. And in the case of Mike, you've got to deal with the weekly resistance level out there, the top of that profile, before you can even consider getting that 45 points that you need. So I hope that helps both you guys out. Thanks so much for your request. Greg wrote in yesterday, wanted to take a look at GEHC. So let's get those charts up on our screen out here. GEHC is trading at 74.80. GEHC is GE Healthcare Technologies. Now, on the daily time frame, we know that price is trading above the top of its profile, so it's got a bullish profile change in trend. That'll confirm today, and that's going to suggest we're inside the gap to the downside. So I would say more likely than not, the daily is telling you, Greg, that price wants to go fill that gap. That means that it wants to get down at least to the level, or get up to the level of 77.44, the bottom of that gapping swing point from July 29th. Let's see if the weekly chart complements that. Turns out on a weekly basis, this will be week number 2 to the upside. Since basically the lows in April, we've only seen 2 or 3 week rallies. So you'd be looking for a 3-week rally here. You'd like to see a 3-week rally. Now you're looking for an entry point. All right, so you got a 2-week rally. Let's see if this is one of those 2-week rallies with just a 1-week pullback out there. And where would that 1-week pullback maybe find support? At this stage, the number I'd go with would be 72.96. But if you can get below 72.96, the 70.06 to 71.03, that's the buy zone. That would be the ultimate. But we don't have any signals to suggest that that would happen other than the mere fact that we likely get a 2-week rally here. And you can see, and you could extend to a 3-week rally out there. But I don't have a buy point for you anyways on the daily unless you're going to go ahead and chase it. And I'm not suggesting that you do that. So GEHC on the monthly time frame, price is trading below profile support at 76.51 out there. So, Greg, you're looking for an entry point. Be patient out here. And the daily's we're day number 5 to the upside. So the daily basis, we've seen retracements that have lasted 4 and 5 days to the downside. On average, it's usually a 2 to 3 bar move out there. Four is kind of normal as well. All right, let's move on to our next request, which is a take a look at NVIDIA. That's for Eddie. My hip doctor out here. So let's take a look at NVIDIA, see what this is doing on a daily time frame. This still has does it? 7 Rhodes momentum indicator top. The actual high that needed to close above would be 183.30. Did we get a close above that over here yesterday? Close 183. No, we did not. So you still have a Rhodes momentum indicator top, but price right now is finding support at the top of its profile. The top of its profile is at 180.23. As long as it does that, its conditions are somewhat neutral. If we close below 180.23, the next areas of support would be either 175.64, 169.50, or all the way back at 152.97. All of that courtesy of the daily time frame. The weekly shows that we are in bar number 8. This suggests that you could get a top between this week and the next 2. Next week, bar number 9 will complete as long as price closes above the close of bar number 5. That's 173.50 out there. A monthly time frame for NVIDIA does not have any kind of a topping pattern. It does have a Rhodes momentum indicator signal present. That needs a bearish reversal candle to confirm a top. We can see that we are up now for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 months in a row. That basically should be the extent of the move before we get at least a 1 or 1 to 2 month pullback inside of NVIDIA out there. The next request from Dan inside the Tiger's Den, IBRX. Let's put that up on our screen out here. IBRX right now trading out at $2.83. It is trading above the top of its daily profile, Dan. That's 272. A close above that today and tomorrow is going to suggest you get back to its most recent high. That would be back at the 311 standpoint. That swing point, which you've tested at least a low of, has volume of about 20 million shares. So far today, you're in it with 13 million shares. You're pushing to that swing point with volume. I say that this thing is going to go test that high. That's $3.11. But as long as it's up there, might as well go test that TD9 count breakdown level at $3.24. You've got resistance on the weekly at 290, resistance on the weekly at 330, and resistance at 351. So it may be a little bit of a bumpy ride as it gets up to those levels. Steve Rhodes with TFNN. We'll be right back.
If you spend any time online researching trading techniques on how to begin your trading journey, you've no doubt come across many folks who push Forex trading as a way to make big money quickly. Unfortunately, there are equally as many stories of these so-called Forex professionals just looking to make a quick buck off aspiring traders without actually teaching the ins and outs of the Forex market. This is what sets Teddy Keckstack's The Tiger Forex Report off the riffraff. Every Monday, former Chicago Mercantile Exchange member and author Teddy Keckstack releases his Tiger Forex Report newsletter, where he dives into the complex world of Forex and takes time to actually teach you his methods that have made him so successful in the fast-paced and rewarding world of Forex trading. Furthermore, all subscribers receive access to archived live streams of Teddy's, where he provides university-level education to help you in Forex trading. All first-time subscribers receive a 30-day money-back guarantee. So what are you waiting for? Forex awaits.
In the world of trading, only a few names stand out like Larry Pesavento, a pro's pro with over 50 years of experience. Larry has seen it all. A former Chicago Mercantile Exchange member, Larry has authored 10 books and trained over 1,000 traders with his unmatched expertise. Introducing Fibonacci 24/7, Larry Pesavento's daily trading service that turns the complexity of markets into opportunities. Published every Sunday, receive a comprehensive report packed with detailed commentary, charts, and videos that illuminate the patterns shaping the markets, with updates throughout the week exclusively for subscribers. Whether through charts or videos, Larry's analysis is your roadmap to navigating the markets. You can sign up now at TFNN.com for just $97. And with all TFNN newsletters backed by a 30-day money-back guarantee, you have nothing to risk. For all the details, visit TFNN.com. You'll find Fibonacci 24/7 right under the newsletters tab.
For traders who crave risk, Direxion's daily leveraged and inverse ETFs provide opportunities to magnify short-term perspectives with up to 3 times a daily leverage, utilize bull and bear funds from both sides of the trade, and trade through rapidly changing markets. These are highly leveraged ETFs with daily resetting designed for short-term trading, not long-term investing. Whether you're a bull or a bear, you choose the Direxion. For up-to-date pricing and performance, go to Direxion.com. Investing in the funds involves significant risk and should only be utilized by investors who understand the impact of leverage and actively monitor their portfolio. They are not designed to track the underlying index or security for more than a day. Before investing, carefully consider a fund's investment objective, risk, charges, and expenses contained in the prospectus available at Direxion.com. Read carefully. Distributor Foreside Fund Services, LLC.
This program is brought to you by Vista Gold, traded on the NYSE American and TSX under the symbol VGZ.
Welcome back, folks. Nectar Therapeutics, NKTR is the symbol we're looking at next. We can see that this is trading. Right now, it's taking on its oscillator and change line, its resistance level, as well as the center of its bullish structured profile. So, Dan, if Nectar can close above 24.64 today, we're at 24.69, it's going to increase the odds of a move to 25.82, 25.82 being the top of that daily profile. The swing point that is trading into is from July 18th, 1.1 million shares traded that day. So far today, we're at 279,000 shares. So we're coming in a bit light on that swing point. Out there, 1.1 million. But nonetheless, if you close above its green oscillator and change line today, odds favor move to 25.82. The weekly is waiting for the daily to get its act together. The monthly is waiting for the daily to get its act together. Both the weekly and the monthly want to move higher out there. So it's really all about the daily, and it's all about that green oscillator and change line at this moment in time, Dan. So I hope that helps you out. McGuppy is looking at ticker symbol VST and ticker symbol APP. So let's check out VST first. And the question is there any kind of long-term topping pattern in place out here? And the answer to that question is no, there is not. This had a Rhodes Momentum Indicator top that formed in January of 2025. That was really formed in February. That's when it confirmed out there. And price closed above that last month. So it negated that signal. There is no topping pattern. Now, a bearish reversal candle would confirm another Rhodes Momentum Indicator top, but no long-term top there. The weekly time frame had a key reversal bar last week. Is there an A to B equals CD pattern that we can easily see to the upside out here? And the answer is not really, because I'd have to go back fairly far, and then this would not have completed a to B equals CD. So we don't have a sell the D point top. We don't have any kind of a top on the daily time frame, at least anything that sticks out to Stevie. Price remains above profile resistance and its oscillator and change line, 200.25 being profile resistance. So this is a bullish signal out there. So I don't see an intermediate or a long-term top for VST out there. The daily has got a Rhodes Momentum Indicator top, but the work to the downside may be done because price found support in its daily buy zone. That was between 188 and 192, and that took place on the trading day of August the 7th. So no long-term top there. McGuppy, let's go check out APP, see if there's a long-term top. Give me a moment. We'll get to those charts. I believe that should be right here. And APP is trading out at 445. So back to the monthly time frame chart first. Big old bear sash candle. Was that a sell the D point top? I would struggle to put in an A to B equals CD pattern out here. So the answer to that is no. So I don't have any kind of a topping pattern out here. We've got a swing point that is the month of February 2025. Volume, 171 million shares so far. We're about halfway through the month, 75 million. So we're about 150-ish coming into 170. So maybe we're similar-ish type volume. Nonetheless, the monthly time frame chart is bullish. Trading above Southern change line, trading above profile. Same is true for the weekly time frame. However, the weekly chart is trading into its Rhodes Momentum Indicator top that went ahead and formed on February 21st. Now, the swing point was the week before, February 14th. Happy Valentine's Day, McGuppy. And that swing point had volume of 48 million shares. Last week, we closed inside that swing with 54 million shares. You know the game plan. You close inside a swing point with volume, odds favor you're going to go test the high. Now, the weekly may have set up a to B equals CD pattern to the upside. The B point had 27 million. Again, we said last week was 54 million shares. So now you have a weekly A to B equals CD pattern to the upside that has been confirmed. That says that this goes back to the highs and beyond, I believe. Let's go take that and take a look at that. And yeah, so you've got an A to B equals CD pattern to the upside that is suggesting you do more than a one-to-one. Now, we got to contend with the daily. That's got a probably a sell the D point top out there. So the daily we can find an A to B equals CD pattern. Pretty sure of that. Well, I said I'm pretty sure. No, it did not complete its daily A to B equals. Well, I can find one. So it's got to sell the D point top. Day number one of a retracement out here, McGuppy. So likely this will pull back. It may just be a 2-day pullback. And the ideal thing, if you were looking to add the shares, you're looking to get into this, would be a 2-day pullback down to the oscillator and change line, the 426 area. 426 right now, 80-ish is what's printed on my screen. You have a new daily profile that's forming below price. That's a bullish signal, generally speaking, out there. The top of that profile, 410.39. That could be a level of support that would only come into play if price were to close below that green oscillator unchanged line. So that's what we see. We don't see any long-term top out here. The intermediate-term time frame does have that top out there, but of course that top is at least going to be tested. So McGuppy, hope that helps you out. And as always, thank you for your request. Sat P writes in and would like to take a look at GLOB, looking to buy a few shares. So this has a TD9 count bottom pattern that is actually completing today. Now, what price is going to do here is going to rally up into its sell zone. We're getting pretty close to it. We're at 79.01. The sell zone begins at 81.02, ends at 82.88. So maybe what you've got to wait for here is a couple-day retracement to add a few shares out there. You could add them here. I don't know what's going to unfold as price hits that sell zone. So let's see what the weekly chart tells us. The weekly chart says, let's open it up. Just want to make sure before I say something that, in fact, that's what I visually see out here. And that means I need to see more data. So we start from here, A, B, C, D. E. We are in wave number 7 on a weekly basis. It needs a higher low next week to confirm that pattern. But we do have one pattern, a bullish reversal. No, we're not going to go there. A bullish reversal candle would form a Rhodes Momentum Indicator bottom, where a counter trend rally would come to an end. Sat. This is on GLOB. Is between 91.64 and 97.27. So again, don't know what your intentions are, if it's just very short term. And finally, if we take a look at the monthly time frame chart, let's get the signals out there. No signal of any kind of a bottom. We've got an A to B equals CD pattern that's underway. Its B point had 15 million shares. It was passed with 19 million shares. So there is a longer term, very longer term, A to B equals CD pattern out here that suggests a move down towards the level of $30.71 out there. But that's much longer term. Right now, the daily wants to rally up into that sell zone. You also wanted to take a look at HUBS. So let's go ahead and pull those charts up on our screen out here. HUBS is printing out right now at 436. Now, this did complete a TD9 count bottom on its daily time frame. So here you could go ahead and add and take a few shares right now. This should rally up to 460.72. It's about a $30 move. The concern here is on the weekly time frame. Did the B point of an A to B equals CD pattern get taken out with volume? That's the week of April 11th. 5.4 million shares taken out last week with 7 million shares. You've got a longer to intermediate term A to B equals CD pattern on the downside. What's the monthly doing? Its swing had volume of 16 million. You are at 12 million right now. HUBS is telling us that it actually wants lower price, but the daily says right now it should rally, and it should rally up towards that 460 level out there. So I hope that helps you out, Sat. As always, thanks for your request out there. The next request coming in from Hector and Patty. They want to take a look at STRL. They want to look at the works out there. Well, the work says the daily time frame has a confirmed Rhodes momentum indicator top. The weekly, a confirmed TD9 count top. What's that all suggest? That suggests that we should pull back, but let's try to analyze this chart when we come back from this break. Steve Rhodes with TFNN.
Many trading newsletters attempt to focus on a narrow set of equities or commodities. While this works for some, it oftentimes misses many opportunities that possess huge gain potential. But how is an independent trader supposed to scan the entire market looking for these hidden opportunities? One simple answer: the opening call newsletter. Basil Chapman, developer of the Chapman wave trading methodology, has been trading the markets for longer than most trading influencers have been alive. And over that time, he has honed his methodology in order to accurately call movements in a wide range of equities, from semiconductors to uranium to key indices and so much more. Basil is old school, taking the time to educate the trader while also giving his insights into key indices, selective stocks, and more. Opening call subscribers also receive access to dozens of educational live streams that can be accessed at any time for your edification. All first-time subscribers receive a 30-day money-back guarantee. So ignore the pop trading influencers and start learning time-tested technical analysis.
In the world of trading, only a few names stand out like Larry Pesavento, a pros pro with over 50 years of experience. Larry has seen it all. A former Chicago Mercantile Exchange member, Larry has authored 10 books and trained over 1,000 traders with his unmatched expertise. Introducing Fibonacci 24/7, Larry Pesavento's daily trading service that turns the complexity of markets into opportunities. Published every Sunday, receive a comprehensive report packed with detailed commentary, charts, and videos that illuminate the patterns shaping the markets, with updates throughout the week exclusively for subscribers. Whether through charts or videos, Larry's analysis is your roadmap to navigating the markets. You can sign up now at TFNN.com for just $97. And with all TFNN newsletters backed by a 30-day money-back guarantee, you have nothing to risk. For all the details, visit TFNN.com. You'll find Fibonacci 24/7 right under the newsletters tab.
Are you ready to take charge of your financial future? TFNN is your gateway to the world of trading and investing. Whether you're starting out or scaling up, TFNN empowers traders and investors of all skill levels with top-notch investing systems, strategies, and techniques. It's time to protect and grow your money with insight you can trust. Join us live Monday through Friday during market hours for exclusive content that moves with the markets. At TFNN, we bring the trading floor to you. Our seasoned hosts are here to answer your calls and questions live on the air. Check out the Tiger's Den for just $1 and follow us on YouTube and become part of our vibrant community. And remember, at TFNN, we're so confident in the value we provide that we offer a 30-day money-back guarantee on all new premium newsletter subscriptions and services. You have absolutely nothing to risk, so why wait? Tune in live to Tiger TV and transform your trading journey, because when you know better, you invest better. Join us and experience the difference today. TFNN, educating investors.
Welcome back, folks. We're taking a look at Sterling Infrastructure out here, which on the daily time frame, STRL is a ticker symbol, has a Rhodes Momentum Indicator top. The weekly's got that TD9 count top that's going to go ahead and complete this week. Now, the last TD9 count top that formed on a weekly basis, Hector and Patty, was negated immediately. Maybe that's going to be the same thing this time, too. I don't know. But the TD9 top meeting is suggesting that price would pull back towards a 257 level. The daily time frame has got that Rhodes Momentum Indicator top. It's got profiles that have formed below price. That's a bullish signal. But because price is below the green oscillator and change line, it's lost its daily momentum, and it could pull back to test that 275.13, 267.35 level as well. And the monthly chart, as you know, has got a confirmed A to B equals CD pattern on the upside. That looks pretty good. Your issue is with regard to the daily and the weekly time frames out there. So I hope that helps you out. Mike in Ormond Beach wants to take a look at ticker symbol CHWY, Chewy out here. His question is there a weekly bottom? The answer to that question is I don't know. It depends upon the close on Friday. If Friday's close is above 41.20 and we're trading, Friday's close is above 37.99 and we're at 38.73, you will not have a TD9 count bottom. However, what you could get, well, maybe not. All right. But what we are doing, and what this instrument is doing on a weekly basis, is trading inside its bullish structured profile out there. And considering the daily is trading above the top of its bearish structured profile. If we get a close above it again tomorrow, 36.68, that suggests that, that would give us a bullish profile change in trend. It suggests that we rally further, and I would say that Chewy would rally up towards 40.58 on the weekly time frame or thereabouts. That is its weekly oscillator and change. On the daily, it says you could get up to the 43.63 level. But with regard to a daily bottom, you get back to the bottom of its bullish structured profile on a weekly basis. So yeah, Mike, that can be a bottom, just simply coming back to support. Folks, I didn't get to all the requests out there. We come back tomorrow. We're going to start off, take a look at ENPH, PRGS, and BKNG. In the meantime, have a wonderful Wednesday. Thanks for joining me. I'll look forward to seeing you tomorrow on Terrific Thursday. Take care and be safe out there.